everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Tyranny. Last episode, we came into the Forge here and there's been a lot of talking. We briefly talked with the Forge Master, and then we talked for a while with the person in charge of Lethian's Crossing. And now we can talk to this person here, Lohara, Master of Tempering. She has a fair bit to say. Let's see what she has to say. Tell me about Lethian's Crossing. I don't see much of it, only this. She points to the roof and walls of the forge. Lethian and her merchant crew settled this area a while back. The brave fools built bridges over the old walls and made themselves a crossroads trading post. Real pioneer spirit stuff. The whole place might have been ignored by Kairos' forces, except somebody discovered there's iron everywhere. Can't wash your clothes in the river without them coming out rust-tinged. So the iron made Lethian's Crossing important enough for Kairos to want it for himself. It made good sense to move some of us forge-bound here to Lethian's Crossing. Easier to put us near the iron instead of shipping it over mountains. That, and this is a crossroads, we can resupply our allies faster than ever from our new workshop. Tell me about the forge-bound. For centuries, my guild has sought the union of magical and manual perfection. While others concern themselves with the arcane for the sake of inordinate power, we study it to overcome the traditional limits of our arts and crafts. The forge is our dominant concentration of study, but not all forge-bound work metal. Some are weavers, carpenters, and one of our order members fancies himself a chef. The wise and mighty Kairos has been kind to our guild. He offered to put our weapons and armor in the hands of those who would change the world. A broad smile overcomes her face. And he has been true to his word. Forge-bound iron has trampled the tiers, and all that oppose Kairos' forces rest their heads on forge-bound spears. What can you tell me about the forge-bound master? Zidenya is the best leader I have had the pleasure of working under. She guides the forge-bound with a steady yet stern hand, guaranteeing all of our work is of the utmost quality and peerless in every regard. I am Zidenya's second, which is why I am the Forge Master for Lethian's Crossing. She points at Atlantis. He is my second should anything happen to me. I haven't worked with him long, so I don't know much about him, or the true long-lasting quality of his work, but he was appointed by Zidenya, so he must be good at what he does. Can you make me something magical? No, she smiles and shakes her head. But almost everyone asks. Relics of arcane power must grow into themselves. They are never made from nothing. She points her finger in the air and smiles. But what I can do is use my magic to swing my hammer with perfect precision, or work a cantrip to handle molten metal with my bare hands. We can build artifacts of exceeding quality and refinement, but they must be used in great deeds to grow into relics of power. And that is why we seek to put the works of our forges into the hands of the greats. True legends require the alliance of swordmaker and swordmaster. Why make weapons if you could kill your foes with magic? Why walk if you could pay porters to carry you? She shakes her head with a huff. We have ways to protect ourselves from those who would abuse us, but we study the arcane for purposes of building and not destroying. We leave that to others. They can take our implements and use them to sow chaos if they choose. I would rather take chaos and force order on it. How exactly does your magic help you make things? Our most important rituals bind the crafter tools and materials into one entity? Close enough. In my own work, the forge bind draws the whole of my senses to the edge of the blade I'm tempering. I can see the tiniest notch, or touch my finger to the blade and feel the razor sharpness without breaking my skin. Such perfect execution of art has its costs, of course. One's heart and lungs become linked to flame and hammer. A dropped hammer could lead to a stopped heart. Most of our members die in the throes of their work, killed by a distraction or simple error. We lose a lot of apprentices. Let's speak of something else. Tell me about the disfavored. The disfavored have treated us as honored guests. We are given privacy, autonomy, food, and protection. In return, we give them the best iron in the tiers, and they put it to use. A favorable arrangement. But I'm no fool that I read too much into the kindness. We are a war resource and exist only because we feed their insatiable need for quality iron. Can you make something for me? Can? Most certainly. Will? Well, Kairos invented cues for a reason. I have every Iron Walker and every Scarlet Chorus ringleader sending me bribes and flattery in hopes that I'll work off schedule and make them some special this or one-of-a-kind that. Her mouth moves as if to speak, but she falls silent, folding her arms. I did not realize the request was so thoughtless. My apologies. I get unreasonable demands every day, but it's not the volume, it's the purpose. She lowers her voice to a near whisper and steps closer to you. I do resent that Kyrus's demands reduce our work to mere quotas. I should be allowed to customize my work for every soldier. Only apprentices have anything to learn from making the same size helmet again and again. Forget I asked. That I will. Are you well? You look weary. Ecstatic. Her voice is a matter of fact and a smile creeps in. The ritual of the forge links heart to hammer. My blood beats only when I strike my ingot. My forge runs too hot, my breath becomes too hurried. The bond is both fatiguing and exhilarating. Is that how you excel at your craft? Well, that in practice. But yes, the rituals link the senses to the materials and the body to the tools. My hand becomes a joint, the hammer the true end of my arm. I feel the heat of the forge as if it were the weather of the room. Under such circumstances, true focus can emerge. Couldn't that kill you? I should hope so. Ah, better than being defiled and killed by brigands, poisoned by grain rot, or slain by childbirth. Would not a soldier wish to die in battle? I suppose. I must be going. Thank you for your time. And we got some more favor with the Forge Mount. I wonder if we can get a special ability for getting enough favor with them. I need to take a look at that. And while we do need to go speak with the master up at the top, we need to look around the rest of this place first. Which we will. First, though, I am curious. Not the Bronze Brotherhood. The Forge Bound. Ooh, yes. We almost have Ignore the Elements. Gain a bonus to armor against frost, shock, and fire damage. Ooh. And later, Elemental Shield. Fear would give us Smelting Ore, passively reduce the duration of all incoming hostile effects, and extinguish strip all beneficial effects. No, I like this side more. Lethian's Crossing doesn't get anything. Stone Sea Villagers, nothing. Yeah, the Vendrian Guard hate us. The Champion's Valor would have been good. I don't think we can get anything more with them. Bronze Brotherhood do hate us. That would still be good when we get it. Sage's Guild, we're good on them, with a bonus to defense against spells, which is nice. Unbroken, they fear us a lot, and there's not much more we can do, sadly. And we can't get Withering Touch. Gruesome Blows would be neat, though. Disfavored are great here. Though that Undying Fatebinder would be good there. And Scarlet Chorus, okay. Anyway, enough distraction from looking at a thing. Let's move on. I don't think I checked in here. Let's see what we find in here. Phaedra and Dea.
Ah, got it.
A bright-faced woman greets you as you approach. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing, Wanderer. My name is Phaedra, and this is my beautiful wife, Dea. She indicates a stone-faced blonde woman standing next to her, who holds up her hand in a quick greeting. What brings you to town? Is there anything I can help you with? What can you tell me about Lethian's Crossing? I've lived here most of my life, but honestly I'm not sure there's much to say. We're a center for trade and a waypoint for travelers. The walls are a little scary, but you get used to them over time. What about you, dear? Dea shrugs, her expression never changing. What is there to say? The town is all right, but living under the thumb of an occupying force makes it hard to truly relax. Phaedra puts her hand on Dea's shoulder, and Dea sighs. Sorry we couldn't be more help. You haven't always lived here? Several years before Kyrus's invasion, I moved away from Lethian's Crossing. Being the granddaughter of Lethian came with a responsibility I wasn't ready for. I met Dea in the Bastard City and decided to stay a while. We were living in the bastard city when we heard about Kyrus's forces moving to the tiers, so we took that as our motivation to move. And I think we got out of there at just the right time. We traveled a bit with a couple of caravans, but nothing really seemed like home until I returned to Lethian's Crossing. You never realize how much you can miss a place until you've been away for a while. She wraps her arms around Dea and squeezes. But I could live anywhere as long as this one is with me. It's true that trade hasn't been as vibrant here recently, but I'm sure it's simply a temporary setback. The merchants will sing and dance for you, trying to convince you their supplies are unaffected, but everyone is feeling it. I have faith the world will set itself right soon enough. People call me a fool, but I don't see the benefit in bemoaning your fate. You take what life hands you and make it work. You're Lethian's granddaughter. One of many, I suspect, but I'm the only one anyone knows about. And before you ask, no, Eldian is not my father. Maybe you haven't heard, but my grandmother wasn't exactly the settling down type. How do you feel about the disfavored? I don't have an issue with them. Their curfew may be a bit strict, and it gets hard to keep track of every rule they invent and all the regulations they've enacted. Otherwise, they've left us alone to live our lives. Anything is better than having the Brotherhood, Dea exclaims. Give me 100 rules for every Brotherhood member driven from this town. Thank you for your time. Any time, traveler. If you need anything else, just let me know. Okay, then. Not much in that house, but hey, it was something to look at. Moving on. Just as soon as the loading finishes. These loading screens shouldn't be anything against the game. I just put it onto a regular hard drive instead of my SSD. Oh, look at that.
Have a look here.
There was what, a piece of stone or something? Not that special. Alright, let's take a look down here. See what we can find. Looks like a camp out here.
It's all in the reflexes.
Broken hilt. Even though the sword's blade is broken, the hilt's craftsmanship is particularly impressive. A master blacksmith at a Spire Forge upgrade may have more information about this item. Interesting. We'll have to bring it to him and see what it is. Alright, let's take a look up this way. There's another thing to loot. Merchant Helena. Fine day, my friend. Might I interest you in my wares? I have all manner of goods I know you need. Let's see. Warrior's Girdle. Of Warriors. Plus 10 athletics. That's something. I don't believe we particularly need anything, however, but there are things that we can sell. So sell that. Sell that. Sell that. And sell that, I think. Then on the armor side, sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Yeah. And then we have these to sell. We're getting quite a bit of coin now. Which is... okay, it's obviously this great bow that's giving us all that coin. Nice. Alright, take a look around a bit more. There's Vintara. Good day to you, Fatebinder. The soldier gives you a brief salute. She then stands at attention. My name is Vintara. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing. Commander! It's been a while since I took leave at the crossing. Glad to see you have everything in order. Barak, I haven't seen you since the march on Stalwart. It seems you've done well for yourself since then. She looks him up and down. What happened to you out there? I picked up some extra baggage along the way. Nothing I can't handle. Well, you look a mess. First chance you get, I want to see you in proper uniform, understood? Without waiting for a response, she returns to attention. You made some tough calls the last time you were here. None of us were happy when you put forge-bound iron in the hands of Chorus soldiers. She pauses, a slight smile creeping across her face. But the sight of you publicly flogging their commander after she tried to bribe you raised our morale for several span. More than a fair trade. What can I help you with? Can you give me some information on what's happening in Lethian's Crossing? Our current orders are to garrison Lethian's Crossing. We are to secure the safety of the Forgebound, the sanctity of Kyrus's laws, and the well-being of the settlers. And we're dealing with a gang of Free City's mercenaries we need to club back to setting sun. Well, that's not the official order, but you get the idea. There is a small matter of a thief in town, but I will not bother you with such trifles right now. I'm sure my soldiers can handle it. I must be going. Travel well, Fatebinder. She taps the back of her gauntlet to her helmet and bows deeply. Okay. Nothing of too particular note here. Hold on, I didn't loot this. And we got Vendrian Guard Bronze Dagger. Heavy leather boots. Actually, I think those leather boots could go to you. Oh, definitely. More recovery and disengagement defense? Definitely. And as for this dagger that we found... No. No, it wouldn't be a thing. Never mind. Okay. Anything else up here? There is. I don't think there's going to be anything over here. The answer is definitely no. Just a random beast man over there. Alright, in here we go. Let's see what we find. Ah, Siren. The Archon of Song. I remember now. A young woman stands here, surrounded by a group of villagers. She speaks to them in soft, dulcet tones, holding them hypnotized with her hand motions. She wears an ornate headdress that surrounds her face, its forehead inset with an enormous red gem. The headdress flashes as she speaks, and you are unable to tell if it's a trickle of light or the gem in it is actually glowing. She is swept up in her oration and seems completely unaware you've arrived. It takes a few moments before you realize she was also in the Scarlet Chorus camp in Vendrian's Well. She opens her eyes and looks at you over the heads of the people gathered before her.
Greetings, worm.
Her voice takes you off your guard. It is bare of any inflection and yet full of beautiful music. If you didn't know better, you would guess that she is actively suppressing or modulating her vocal tone. You look familiar. Have we met?
You don't know me, little worm? I am Siren, and my allies have the pleasure of calling me the Archon of Song.
You hear the distant peal of a bell in her laugh. She stops and regards you for a moment before continuing.
To what do I owe this incredible honor, Fatebinder? Is Tunon throwing another one of his tantrums? Threatening everyone if they don't find me? I'd say it's annoying, but don't you think it's kind of flattering to have everyone wanting me so desperately? Kairos, the voices of Nurat, Tunon, you?
She winks. What are you suggesting?
Never mind. I'm just feeling a little paranoid. Past guardians have shown themselves to be a little more interested in me than entirely necessary. But now to a more important matter. There is something you can do to assist me.
Her mouth opens in a perfect O shape, and the sound that pours out is captivating, entrancing. It dampens the ambient bustle of the hall until it seems that nothing exists but her voice. From the corner of your eye, you see Verse cup her hands to her ears, turning her head away from Siren.
Remove my helmet.
The ruby headpiece on her brow flashes as if in warning. What are you trying to do to me?
Really? Nothing at all? What a disappointment. Not to mention a colossal waste of effort on my part. Probably spreading myself too thin trying to keep them all under my thrall.
She indicates the people surrounding her.
I hoped you would assist me in a delicate matter, but it appears you're no use to me at all. Keeping up the act can be a bit tiring at times. I've been the songbird for so long, I've forgotten how to be anything else.
Perhaps I can help you. Come with me. Someone with your power could use help directing it.
Why on earth would you want that? I can't imagine you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart. Oh. Tunon must have had a hand in this. Or Narat. Maybe I'd rather stay here where people won't insist on ordering me around all the time. Although, you did activate one of the spires, so your power is something I could learn from, and you are right. It's certainly not going to make any significant advances staying here with a bunch of nobodies worshipping me. Watching you in action could give me the edge I need to unlock a spire of my own. Fine. I will allow you the glorious gift of my presence in your party.
Come with me, Siren.
Well then, let's go. If you're gonna teach me the wonders of the world, it's not gonna happen here.
Well, I didn't see that coming. I'd heard tell of Siren, Archon of Song, but for one, I didn't expect that she'd act like, well, this. I expected her to be more graceful, and I didn't expect her to be another party member. This is very unexpected. We clearly need to speak with her, and I need to see what her abilities and everything are. I will temporarily remove... I'll remove
tack
him.
homeward. See you there.
And we need to speak with her. Let's see. First things first. Siren, what do you have armor-wise? You use cloth armor. Songbird's Bridle, which only Siren can equip it, and she cannot remove it. A complex locking mechanism on the rear of this ornate helm keeps it fastened to Siren's head. When the Archon of Song raises her voice, the gem at the brow flashes with crimson light, as if in warning. No matter how much you puzzle it out, you can't fathom how this gear was assembled or fastened in the first place, much less how to remove it. Okay. And she does use a staff, which we have another. Then again, it has Entertainer, plus 15 performance skill. Performance? What is she? Songbird's Dress, Songbird's Gloves, Songbird's Cloth Wraps. Well, she can improve her abilities, which... She doesn't have anything in Vitality, so improve that too, improve that too. Resolve is actually pretty good. Before I do any more, I need to see what her skills are. Songs! She has songs? Bringer of Death, a song ominously describing the power of Kairos' will as it washes over life and land, reaping those that stand against it. Blood Brings the Dawn, a powerful battle chant Siren was forced to sing for the Scarlet Chorus to inspire their victory. Sword of Strength, Sword of Justice, a song of valor and defiance, adopted by the Ventrian Guard to boost morale in their rebellion. Bane of Night, a song that terrorizes enemies with notes that conjure horrifying visions of the Bane. Red Runs Our Blood, an old song once proudly sung by the free cities of the Four Brothers. Since Kairos' destruction of setting sun, the song is rarely sung. Glory in Battle, a song that evokes qualities of the disfavored. When sung by Siren, it exemplifies those qualities in her allies. Breath of Winter, a violent song that chills the bones of foes with extreme cold magic. To the Tears We March, a song that retells the events of Kairos' conquest over the Tears. Its 6 stanzas represent each nation of the Tears that fell before Kairos' might. And Fatebinder's Victory, a song that is sung in the name of the Fatebinder. Its words empower allies and ensure their victory. Aria of Force, Siren releases a quick sonic blast that deals crush damage to enemies and forcefully pushes them away from her. Interesting. Fractures the armor of her foes. Increasing the speed of her songs and causing her to move through each stanza more quickly. Maintains a damage prevention field around herself. Any damage will briefly stop this field from regenerating. This is interesting. Those caught in Siren's attack take arcane damage and are interrupted. Breath. Interesting. I'm just looking through these. Retaliates against attackers. Melee attackers have their damage reduced for a short time. Recalls a nightmare and begins to sing. The power in her voice creates an embodiment of her memory that will terrify and torment her foes. Okay, what's on the peace side? Bolsters the party resolve. Inspiration also grants Siren additional spell slots. How many does she have? 4. So Inspiration would be good to have. While not wearing heavy armor, Siren is immune to engagement. Interesting. And 50% critical protection. Siren's Aria of Respite now has the power to reach into the minds of allies that are completely unconscious and revive them. Okay, so she is mainly a spell person. So I think that, well, a bit of extra health would be good. So we'll keep it at that. But what am I going to give her here? And what's this about? Shattered Stone, Aria of Force. Wait, the Fatebinder rips a large chunk of stone from the earth and tosses it into the air. Siren then unleashes a shattering note into the boulder, causing it to explode and send raining stones down from the sky, damaging enemies in the area. The power of Siren's voice impacting the boulder causes a shockwave to follow the explosion, dazzling enemies in a large area. And let's see. Disappointed by your cruel words and actions, but pleased by kind, trustworthy ways. We have Song of Benediction. Briefly suppress the power Siren's headdress has over her. Siren quickly rises into the air and unleashes a single note before the power of the crystal returns. Her magic clears a random negative effect on nearby allies and briefly protects them from similar effects. And Song of Paralysis. Briefly suppress the power Siren's headdress has over her. Siren rises into the air and unleashes a deafening sound, creating a ring of force around her that paralyzes enemies. Okay. Okay, let me finish giving her abilities here. What I want to do is get Inspiration, because more spells for her would be good. So I guess I'll grab Aria of Resolve. Large bonus to disengagement defense. That would be good, and then we get Inspiration. And then we have these other things. I don't know what Breath is. The Resonant Field would be good. You know, Disarming Guise is useless if you... Oh no, you need Disarming Guise for that. That would also be good there, because her protections would be very good. I think I'll grab both of those just in case. I guess I'll grab Guise of Innocence. We'll try Quick Breath, so she automatically gains breath, whatever that is. And the resonance field is also pretty good. So we'll do that. And then I guess we could give her... She has room for 6. She's definitely got to get some healing abilities. She doesn't have much, but that's definitely going to be one. Recovery, definitely. And I don't think... No, we can't do any others. So you're getting Restoring Touch without a doubt. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to give her? I need to give her other spells. Surge of Glory kind of makes some sense. She seems like she'd be good as a buffer and the like. This episode's going on a little longer as I'm figuring this out, I suppose. Okay, she can't do that one. Nobody can do any auras. Really? Polish arms. Armor penetration to attacks. That's interesting. Surge of Glory seems like it would be good. Can't do that. Yeah, I like the idea of making her this kind of person. And also illusion. That also makes a lot of sense. Mischievous Mask. Conjure a wave of illusionary chaos. Enemies caught in the effect have their worst fears manifested, blinding, confusing, and frightening them. That would be good, but Mirror Image also looks like it would be good. Unfortunately, I can't give it any buffs. But we'll assign that to her. I still kind of want to have another healing spell. Healing Wisps, I guess? It's an AoE spell, so I guess it would be worth it. Unfortunately, I can't really do anything else. I guess I should give her one damaging spell. We got lightning from him. We got fire from him. We've got ice from her. We haven't really done much with stone, which kinda makes sense. Stone Spike might not be a bad choice. Gift of the Golem, no. Actually, hold on. What does she have with... She doesn't. She doesn't really have any spell skills there, which is interesting. I still find Giant Boulder to be so amusing. Crag Weapon. Weight and strength of hard stone. Enemies struck by the weapon take additional crush damage and are knocked prone on critical hits. No. I guess having a fireball spell would be fine. So that she can do some kind of damage with a spell. And I guess the remainder we can save for if she ever needs to. Alright. And I am going to have to end this episode here because it has definitely gone on long enough. A little longer than expected. Next episode, we'll speak with Siren and see what she has going on with her. And then we'll move on to watch the placement of the Magebane Helm. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Chester44. That is Barrack, Verse, and Siren. This has been a Let's Play of Tyranny, and I shall see you all next time.